Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Club Penguin Yearbook series. Today we'll be taking a look at the year 2011. Now in 2010, I stated there were a good number of things that happened, such as a bunch of new game elements being released and a lot of merchandise. So could 2011 be just as good of a year? Well, let's find out. I'm guessing you guys probably know what the first party of the year was. That's right, it's the New Year's Day celebration. Like always, there were fireworks in the sky that could be seen at the ski hill or the iceberg. No items were being given away at the party. The event began and ended on January 1st. The first real party of the year was the Wilderness Expedition. It started on January 17th and was the third expedition to take place in Club Penguin. The main attraction of the party, though, was the release of the newest Puffle, the Brown Puffle. Penguins could adopt one by sailing to the Brown Puffle Cave. They did this by navigating through a maze, lower themselves down a cliff using a machine, building a boat, and then sailing it to the cave itself. There were two items players could get: the expedition hat, the Brown Puffle house, and of course, penguins could adopt the new pet, the Brown Puffle. The party ended on January 31st, closing out the first month of the year. The next party to take place was the Puffle Party. It was first confirmed on a blog post and began on February 17th. It was similar to the other Puffle parties, as each Puffle had their own decorated room. The Puffle show room returned from last year, and Cadence made an appearance with her new Puffle, Lulz. One disappointing thing about this party, though, was that there was no new Puffle introduced. This makes sense, though, as the Brown Puffle was just released in the Wilderness Expedition. 3 items were obtainable during the party. They included the blue Puffle hat, the striped Puffle jacket, and Cadence's autograph. The party ended on February 28th. Right after the Puffle party, and I mean literally the next day after the Puffle party ended, came the pet shop rebuild. The name pretty much says it all. The pet shop got rebuilt and had a new design. There were no items, and the event didn't last for that long, just 8 days. The first actual party after the Puffle party was the April Fool's Party. It was the 6th annual April Fool's Party to be held and started on March 24th. It started so early because an anonymous agent, who was hinted to be Rookie, accidentally opened up new boxes in the box dimension. Speaking of Rookie, this was his debut as a mascot. The main attraction of the party was going on a scavenger hunt in all of the new dimensions Rookie opened up. In total, there were 8 new dimensions. One cool feature of the party was the room teleports. For example, when you walked out of the coffee shop, nightclub, or gift shop, you would end up in the iceberg. There were quite a few items for players to get at the party. They included the purple propeller cap, the box costume, the delivery hat, the delivery outfit, and by meeting Rookie, you could get his background. The party came to a close on April 5th. A smaller party followed the big April Fool's Party, and that was the Easter egg hunt. It started on April 21st and ended on April 26th. The main attraction of the party was the scavenger hunt. By finding all 8 eggs, penguins could get the safari park background. You may be wondering why penguins got the safari park background instead of the usual pair of bunny ears. And that's because the Earth Day celebration was going on at the same time. It was the second Earth Day event to occur and was based on wildlife initiatives, such as the African painted dog or the snow leopard. There weren't that many decorated rooms at the event. The few that did were mostly just decorated with green, or a habitat-like environment for the animals that were being celebrated. Rockhopper also came to the party. There were a good number of items available. They included the Outback Explorer hat, the snow leopard costume, the African painted dog costume, the Island Grove background, Rockhopper's background, and the already mentioned Safari Park background. Next came the Medieval Party. It was confirmed in the Club Penguin Times and began on May 20th. All of the party rooms were brought back and were identical from the last 2 medieval parties. The one new addition to this party, though, was the Yi Knight's Quest. Like the other Yi Knight's quests, which also made a return, this one had several challenges for players to complete. Because all 3 quests were at the party, there were tons of items for players to get. Well, if you're a member, that is. There was only one item that non-members could get, and that was the purple wizard hat. Some of the member-exclusive items included the Iron Staff and Shield, the White Noble Horse, and the White Knight Armor. The party ended on May 29th. A secret agent-themed event came after the medieval party, and that was the Battle of Doom. The battle was between the EPF agents and the Hydra bots, along with Herbert and Klutzy. The battle began because Herbert found the medieval party Hydras, which he in turn used to make the Hydra bot. After defeating Herbert and the Hydra bot, players were awarded the EPF badge pin and the Hydra heads, which were actually furniture items. This event marked the first time Herbert became an in-game meetable character outside of the PSA missions. This was also the first in-game EPF mission. The battle started on May 31st and ended on June 7th. The next party was making its return for the 4th time, and that was the Music Jam. The decorations were like the ones from all the previous years. There were different themed stages and other fun festivities all around the island. There were many glitches throughout the party though. Some of these included being transported to the Yi Knight's quest room when entering the backstage, and music from the EPF Battle of Doom event playing instead. Like usual, there were a good amount of items for penguins to collect. They included the music jam cap, the music swirlty, and the boombox. You could also get cadences and the penguin band's autographs if you were able to meet them. The party was extended by a week due to player demands. It finally came to a close on July 5th. The Island Adventure Party was the third Island Adventure Party to be celebrated and began on July 5th. The main attraction of the party was to find all of the missing cream soda barrels. If the barrels were found, then penguins would receive 4 pins: the eye patch pin, the telescope pin, the tropical feather pin, and the old key pin. Penguins were also able to get the continental hat and the commander hat. Rockhopper made his return to the island like usual. The party came to a close on August 4th. A brand new type of party followed the Island Adventure Party, and that was the Great Snow Race. Construction for the party began on August 18th, and it all finally started on the 25th. The name of the party is actually misleading. The Great Snow Race was actually a cover-up for an EPF operation, much like the Extreme Paint Festival was for Operation Crustacean. The name of this operation, however, was Operation Hibernation. As the name suggests, the main goal was to put Herbert into hibernation so he couldn't attack the EPF. By completing a level in the game System Defender, you would learn that Herbert was hiding out at the toughest mountain. By completing a bunch of tasks, penguins would eventually reach him and put him into hibernation. At the event, 4 items were available: the Alpine Helmet, the Infrared Tracker, the Expedition Key Pin, and the AC3000 pin. The party came to a close on August 31st. The next part of the year wasn't a party whatsoever, and that was the server testing. It started on August 25th and went until September 9th. All penguins had to do was to test out some new servers Club Penguin had made. There were no free items. An actual party came after the server testing, and that was the fair. I probably don't need to explain what happened at the event. There were several mini-games that penguins could play to earn tickets. The tickets could then be spent on prizes. There were prizes for non-members, as well as a few member-exclusive items. Some of these included the Jingle Jangle and the Red Racer. There were also 2 backgrounds. They were the Step Right Up background, and by meeting Rockhopper, you could obtain his autograph. The party began on September 22nd and ended on October 5th. After the fair came the Halloween party. It started on October 20th and was the first Halloween party to last longer than a week, ending on November 3rd. A candy scavenger hunt returned as normal, along with the haunted house and the secret lab rooms. There were a good handful of items being given away: the ghost costume, the storm lantern, the swamp monster, the candy ghost background, and the new Gary background. The 6th year anniversary party started in the middle of the Halloween party. It began on October 23rd and went until October 28th. It was held at the coffee shop and book room, and the only item being given out was the 6th year party hat. The Card-jitsu party followed the other 2 parties and began on November 24th. As you can guess, the main rooms of decoration were the dojo courtyard and the dojo itself. At the party, all penguins could play Card-jitsu fire and water. There were tons of bugs and glitches at the party, such as players getting disconnected from the game, missing inventory items, getting banned for dancing in one of the elemental suits in the town, or the screen just going completely white. Club Penguin did their best to fix these, however. The items that players could collect included the fire headband, the water headband, the fire training plates, the water training plates, and by meeting Sensei, penguins could get his autograph. The party ended on December 4th. The last party of the year was, come on, say it with me, the holiday party. It took place from December 15th to December 29th and was the 7th holiday party. All the previous party rooms returned, but a new room called the Bakery was added. Rockhopper, as well as Antarctic, made appearances during the celebration. There were a lot of items to get at the party. Some of them included the Springy Santa hat, the evergreen decoration, the cookie serving apron, and the globe hat. As you can see, 2011 was an amazing year party-wise. While there weren't as many events as previous years, the quality of them was all great. So what would 2012 bring? Would it be a game-changing year? Well, stay tuned and find out on the next episode. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Club Penguin 101. If you enjoyed what you saw, then be sure to leave a like. Also consider subscribing to get notified when new episodes are up. Until next time, beef it up.